Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the grand finals of the ESL Pro Tour Americas Weekly number 9. I'm your host, Nathanias, and I am so proud to be able to present to you our two players contending for a nice little championship. In the bottom right, representing Team Liquid, we have the blue Terran player. He is uThermal. He faces off against the red Zerg player, who against all odds has been clapping cheeks left and right in this weekly. He is Liquid's TLO. And I mean, honestly, it's like TLO and some Ultra Instinct this week. And I expect a lot of StarCraft players to just be balling out of their minds. There's not too much to do. People are shutting themselves indoors these days, and for good reason. Let's not pretend like we don't know why. And hopefully giving people not only opportunities to put on some great games and really practice hard and get in shape, but also for you guys to tune into it and spend your time indoors. Don't forget, wash your hands, wash your face, wash your hands, face, and all of that. Let's hopefully see ourselves a fantastic final. TLO just dunked on Special. And let me just say, it wasn't just like a regular dunk. This was like, it honestly felt like a Yao Ming dunk. Like, it wasn't really hard for him. He made it look easy. TLO absolutely slaughtered Special. Now, uThermal actually just completely wrecked Clem. So we had quite a few of our Liquid players make it up here to the top 4. This is a best of 5, though. So it's going to take a little bit more from either side. And to pick up the dub this time around, we've got uThermal representing the Netherlands, a fantastic country that makes all the best EDM artists in the world, versus TLO, who is now Canadian, which makes him about as cool as Ryan Reynolds, which honestly, that says a lot. That says a lot. And unless, of course, he gets hired to be a CGI Green Lantern, in which case, you know, TLO's career would probably completely fall apart. But thankfully, I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. As that Reaper pokes in, trying to get a little bit of damage done. Dario was able to slip a drone out to grab that third hatchery. So uThermal's not going to have any opportunity to prevent that third base from being taken, really, at this point in the game. He is going to be getting some Hellions, getting the starport, getting the tech lab. And the funny thing about meta is that it kind of creates itself to a degree, where we were talking about how a lot of Terran players have started to go for Banshee openings, Hellion Banshee. Not because Banshees are good, because frankly speaking, they really aren't. But they are good at one thing, and that is definitely defending against stuff like the early Roach pushes, the little Ravagerling floods. They're mobile, they're air units. Zerg doesn't have a lot of anti-air that they can put out on the map. So a lot of Zergs have started to do, you know, these blind Roachling, Roach Ravager type stuff, because Terrans, their battlecruiser rushing forever, and they had these big windows of vulnerability where you were able to get so much damage done. Now Terrans are like, you know what, we're just going to build Banshees to be safe, because a lot of Zergs still try to do those early attacks. And sometimes Banshees kill a few workers, like sometimes. But not always. Not always. So we got the Hellions going out on the map. The Banshee is about to finish. We have the third command center starting up in the wall. And the Overlord sees all of this, thankfully. So, yeah. I am so glad that we got a 26 pack of mega rolls of the Charmin Ultra Strong like 2 weeks ago before people started panicking. So we're good, thankfully. Hellions and the Reaper, excuse me, not a Cyclone. Doing a little bit of the Pokedoke on the front of that base. You want to try and deny creep if you can. Grab some drones if you can. There's no roaches or anything like that. It's all queens and lings. And the lings don't want to do anything unless the Hellions run straight in here. But as you can see, Spore Crawlers outrange Banshees. Queens greatly outrange Banshees. Deciding to move the Spore Crawler is an interesting choice. I understand why he did it, but it allowed him to actually get those 3 drones. But maybe he was more concerned that the Banshee would swing around the side and get even more kills otherwise. Not super worried about it either way. Banshee's going to try and slip around over towards that main base, but there is a Spore Crawler here. And so he can see very clearly what's going on. He sees that the third command center is done. He's getting his orbital. Where did the Banshee go? And he sees it. Spore's got that vision, man. Spore's got a lot of vision here. So that Banshee ain't doing nothing. I don't even think that Banshee's safe if he tucked it in the corner. And Queens just have a lot of range. That one might get away if he doesn't move this guy up. This might be a safe spot. I think the Overlord can still see it. Second Banshee shows up, gets another few drones in the face of a Spore Crawler. Not bad at all. As these Marines going to push back the Overlord. Okay, you know what? I'll take it back. uThermal definitely had a pretty good opener out of all of this. I did not expect him to get as much damage done as he did. So kudos to him. And uThermal's also going to go into bio out of this. So interestingly enough, we're not looking at him doing any sort of mech play. uThermal absolutely obliterated Clem with mech earlier in this tournament. This should be the only thing I need to tell you. He absolutely obliterated him. Like, straight up sent him to the Shadow Realm. So, definitely something that TLO... I mean, he was busy playing his own matches, sure. But the possibility is definitely very real since we played each semifinal one after another. So, he probably could have been able to watch it. So we'll see. We've got the double medevac drop headed over towards the fourth. Dario does not see it coming, but he does have some good Ling Bane counts. And as they reach the fourth base, he sees the Marines. So the creep isn't here yet. So the bio has a little bit of opportunity to micro against this. Do some stutter stepping, do some kiting. And he's actually doing really well with it. Combat shields isn't done yet, though, so a head-on fight would not be ideal, as the Banelings will be able to one-shot the Marines after they stim. But that's good, because he's got the third base set up now. He's putting up a little bit of a wall. And then you want to basically just get that fourth command center up behind a big push. And that's what he's got. And think about it this way, right? With this base, you got this high ground. You could put a tank here to try and cover your bio. TLO, though, one of the things he's been doing really well, and I think that this is one of the reasons why you see that Zerg's success against Terran is it is so hard for Terran to defend these types of plays. You want an orbital here instead of a planetary? Well, you have to keep a lot of supply back to defend against these attacks, or you're going to lose SCVs and depots every time you try to leave your base. Now, we do have uThermal trying to make the big push himself. Has TLO overextended by going for that big counterattack at the same time as this push? Well, he got all the SCVs at this base. He's cleaned up the wall. He's cleaned up quite a few depots, but he's going to lose his own third. Hasn't really lost drones yet. But he needs the Baneling count. He needs a lot of Banelings to get through this. There are several tanks still holding down the front line here. The Mutas are trying to take them down. This was a pretty fantastic attack on the third. Takes a lot of wind out of the sails of uThermal. But he killed the fourth. He killed the third base at the cost of most of his SCVs at the third. But TLO actually had this base up the whole time. So he's still on 3 bases. He doesn't have the gas here immediately, but that's fine. And the Queens are going to come over to deal with these Hellbats. And TLO, I imagine, is going to try and get those bases back. The Mutalisks are now going to do everything they can. So what TLO wants to do, use the Mutas to keep uThermal at home. Obviously, anything that he kills is like the cherry on top. But if he can keep uThermal at home, if he can apply that damage, apply that pressure, TLO needs to get the creep spread out. He needs to get the creep spread out. He needs to get a fourth base back up again. And he needs to keep uThermal from pushing him. If uThermal is able to get another big push like that going, it's going to be tough to stop without that fourth base economy. Under no circumstances does a Zerg player ever want to be on the same number of bases as a Terran. Unless the hypothetical scenario that, you know, you've completely mined out the map. But even then, Zerg would still want to have had one more base than the Terran, even in that scenario. So he's trying to go for a bit of a run by here, bringing the Mutas, bringing the Lings, bringing the Banes. I think this is a bit bold, but the tank was not sieged, so Mutas are able to kill that tank, but lost quite a few Lings and Banes for not really a whole lot killed. And I think uThermal, feeling a bit of a renewed confidence, is going to start to move up towards that expansion. The Hydralisk Den has only just begun. So he's got his work cut out for him in defending this. He's going for another massive counter while this bio tries to get something done. So the Muta's working on the natural wall. The Ling Bane going to split between the third base, going into the natural as well. SCVs being pulled. There are a good number of Marines here, though. The Mutas want to provide the support from the backside. Now that third base is under fire. We do not have a tremendous number of Ling Bane back at home for Dario to hold on to this. So TLO is trying to get on top of the production and be able to kill these units as they spawn, but it is not looking easy. 30 plus SCVs have died, but uThermal is right on the front door of TLO's base. Now that top right hatchery is probably going to die. This hatchery is super dead. And I love this. He's going to box TLO back in on the 2 bases. Now uThermal is also kind of on 2 bases. He has 17 SCVs. He's 1 base economy. But his army, I do not think TLO is going to be able to kill this. This is going to be really hard. He is on creep, but is that going to be enough? Muta's actually coming in from the right side. Didn't see those. Grabbing 2 of the siege tanks. I can't believe it. TLO, with the rest of his forces swarming over this. There's just a few more Marines, but I think without the Banelings, with the Banelings all dead, he's finally going to crack him. uThermal takes game number 1 in our grand final. And that was a hell of a game. I really did not know who was going to win up until the final moment of that match. We're going to jump into the next map as soon as we can, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with the grand finals of the ESL Pro Tour Weekly number 9 for Americas. In the bottom right, we've got uThermal. In the top left, we've got TLO. TLO bringing it in, making it close, putting on a lot of pressure and doing a lot of damage. But uThermal did a fantastic job of hanging in there. His third base obliterated, his natural eviscerated. But as fun and damaging as it can be to go for those big run buys for TLO, the Wunderwunsch was not able to hold back home. He had the right idea, and it looked really good. Certainly almost had him. But unlike Special, he had some really good Marine control out of uThermal, and that was one of the big reasons why he was able to take away that first win. With that being said, I would like to remind you, this match is the only one in the entire weekly, of course, being as the grand final that it is, that is a best of 5. So you need 3 wins to take it all. This is not going to be one of those quick 2-0, wham, bam, thank you, Sam. And that we will have quite a bit of opportunity for TLO to recover, to bring that ground back, to get the series back to equilibrium. We've got uThermal going for the old Bjorn wall. I remember Bjorn was one of the first Terrans that did walls like this with the 2 depots on the left side of the barracks. And the reason why it is nice is that if you have this spawn, even though it is technically a larger wall, in a weird way, it's easier to Bane bust the depots, which is actually not true. If you click on the barracks, you can blow up both depots and Bane bust anyway. But your add-on is not part of the wall when you do this, which is a big reason why a lot of people like it. And it allows you to rally units out of your base with your depots raised. So even if you're walled in, you can still rally out, which is nice because sometimes you don't want to get hit by a run-by in the early game. So we're playing on Simulacrum. This map, I think, is an extremely difficult one to try and take a third base on for a Terran because you have an extremely wide open third. The run-bys from here, run-bys from here, even trying to squeeze here. It's not really feasible to wall it all off. And similarly, you've got a lot of open spaces that you can get pushed from on this space. This one a little bit easier to hold on to, but we'll see how they choose to go about it. SCV Scout from uThermal is going to be able to deny this drone from building a hatch. He wants to delay that as much as possible. The drone is actually going to win that fight, so he could take that hatchery since the Reaper went home to chase this. Zergling, nice win there by TLO to actually get that fight against the SCV. It's got 10 health. I think the Reaper is going to get back just in time to save it. There's another Ling moving out, though. So he just wants to have a little bit of presence on the map, which I do like. I do think that that is fun. He kills that Zergling. But third hatch, I'm going in just fine. I do think that these are two players that aren't going to mix it up in any sort of crazy way. That Zergling getting an SCV kill at the start of the game is absolute travesty, though. That should not happen. That's a fantastic grab for TLO. Somebody in chat asks, is the first game worth watching? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Reaper makes its way into the main. Oh, we have a much earlier Roach Warren this time for TLO. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Ling's trying to grab him. Is he gonna see it? Yes, he will. Now, you ask yourself, is it a Roach Horn or is it a Baneling Nest? He's gonna build a Viking. I don't think we're gonna see a Fusion Core, though. And that's what it would be end up being, like that that Banshee or something. Most likely. Extremely common response to this type of stuff. Third command center on the way. Turning into the orbital. So he's got a pretty good economic setup. That's what makes the roaches so scary, though. That's why that Banshee that we were talking about before is so popular. Lots of Zergs love to open with roaches and some Lings. And if you play too greedy here, it can actually just go across the map and kill you sometimes. You really need to be on top of that. He's going to get this Overlord removed. I do think opening with the Viking is still one of the best ways to do it versus Zerg, but it does let the Zerg know that you're not attacking them as soon, and they can be a little bit more greedy when they see that Viking. But yeah. We've got 4 roaches moving across the map, 5. And that's the thing is, well, I guess, I'll be honest with you, at a certain point, there is a number of Hellions that can defeat them and deal with them pretty well. But the Liberator having to come out on the defensive is definitely not what you want. He's going to make a Ravager. I actually really like this, though, because a Liberator might be able to deny the Ravager. Or at the very least, get a lot more damage onto it. Yeah, that's good. It's still not ideal, though, because like what TLO's done is put on a good bit of pressure. But can he protect the drones here? That's a really, really important. The Hellions are going to buy drones. Trying to get away. 2 of them have been picked off. There's still 4 Hellions left. Trying to make a little bit of a wall. 3 drones killed. Looks like he might cap it at 5. No, these Hellions are just going to run on out. So 4 drones killed. Way better than what it looked like it could have been. I don't know that he needs to finish the wall, but... Wait, how the f did you get over here? Okay. Natural, completely situated for uThermal. He's going to move out that 3rd command center. Liberator, ready to try and do some harass eventually. There is a Ravager that's morphing here, though. 3000 IQ looking into the future is the Wunderwunsch. And he's even got that Spore in a good spot, too. So I think this should be a pretty easy kill. Nope. Okay. That's not bad. He's going to get at least a few drones here. So they try to get out of there. He's trying to lead him with the Bile. That's pretty much the harass uThermal wants to go for. He is getting his bio upgrades still. He's going into combat shield. We do have a couple roaches going to try and poke this base. He's got a wall up, though. Liberator is finally dead. Finally dead, finally dead, finally dead. Yes. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here. Get out of here. Rachel. Rachel. I don't know. It's almost got 200 energy. Everyone want to clap and cheer once it hits 200. Are you ready? 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! And hey, all the upgrades are finishing. So we got some roaches. We got some Ravagers heading around towards that 3rd base. Gonna kill a couple of Hellions there. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky though, right? Because he's trying to move out 2 medevacs worth of Marines. But TLO been doing a pretty good job of applying just enough pressure. And I mean, look at these depots. Man, depots ain't free. Depots ain't cheap. Look, he's building 3 supply depots. And they take so long to build as well. 4 depots in production now. He can't actually add any more units to his production queue. Unless he loses some. And that's TLO getting himself a pretty big arc setup. He's going to take out another one of them. And that's what I was talking about. This third base is just so open. This third base is so open. What the are you doing over here? Go home. Go back to your home. Are you too good for your home? Stupid. All right, the Roaches and Ravagers are looking for another opportunity to try and punish the positioning here. Could try to smite the engineering bay. Going for the +2 upgrades. That would be pretty bad. I do like this, though. uThermal just putting the Viking on top. He's like, yeah, you ain't got no queens here, dog. I'm ready for you. And this Marine count continues to get higher and higher. He can almost just fight against this straight up. Trying to bile down onto the siege tanks, but Dr. Dario's Roach Ravager is, for the most part, getting cleaned up here at the base of uThermal. And that's pretty much everything spent. That's a lot of resources lost. Yeah, no more 2,000 difference between the two of them now. And being able to save that siege tank. Always nice. El Tanko de Sijo, he scans. He's like, okay, that's the third base from earlier. There is a fourth base that's what? Quarter saturated? Third saturated? 12 Marines at a time coming out, though. For the Dutch monstrosity. You can almost feel Rotterdam's heart beating against his chest. Oh, wait. Nope. That's something else of Roddy's. My bad. My bad. Roach is continuing to shark around. Looking for love in all the wrong places. We got a drop over at the third base. These Marines starting to put that pressure back on. It's a big weakness of a Roach Ravager-based army composition is that the only anti-air you have are Queens. He's got 33 Roaches and 6 Ravagers. And the upgrades weren't denied. So it's not like he's got to have like the extra tanky Roaches. I think he's just trying to catch him off guard. Like just catch him out on the map maybe. But this drop is still doing fantastic work. There's not a whole lot here to stop this. It looks like TLO wants to try and push this third base again. Right as uThermal moves out of his, which is still really, really good. Because now this command center might die. But he's got another drop. Okay, there's a drop in the third. Drop in the main. The drop in the main is actually still going. I think the rest of the units coming up here might kill it, but uThermal's got a lot to work with. He uses the medevacs to move the tanks behind the bio. Stutter step through the fire and the flames. This is a lot of Roaches. He is going to defend the main attack by uThermal, but not before the drops end up doing still a pretty decent amount of damage. Also, where the Queen's at? There's more Overlords to kill. Oh, wait, no. There's a Queen. Never, my bad. My bad. I don't know. TLO might be able to run him over here. That's a lot of Roaches. Siege tanks are the answer to this, but it's hard when the Zerg has so much stuff and they're able to land those biles so effectively. It's really, really important for uThermal to not eat too many of those biles on his medevacs too. He's going to run up, target fire down the Ravagers. That is definitely the best way to do it. Get rid of the Ravagers. Get rid of the high power units. Oh my God, he's even trying to morph Ravager walls in his face. Damn, TLO breaks him. GG. And all tied up 1-1. I'm going to have to ask you guys in chat to not do the political talks, please. Especially if you can't do it without telling people that they're morons or idiots, because that is not very nice. We are loaded back in, all tied up, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to Ephemeron for the ESL Pro Tour NA Weekly number 9 Grand Finals. In the bottom right, we have the blue Terran player. He is uThermal. He faces off against the red Zerg in the northwest, also from Team Liquid. He is TLO. TLO managed to break him with a crap ton of Roach Ravager. And I will go even further and say, more impressively, the way that he did it with a Queen in the top right corner of the map, doing nothing literally the entire game. TLO is going to do a very interesting first hatchery. At where the third base would normally be. Is he hoping that uThermal SCV scouts him? Maybe. Could be a trick. I mean, it's a hatch gas pool, so it's not really anything crazy at the end of the day. It is going to make the initial scout look a little bit terrifying. Like some Terran players, when they think they're getting pool firsted, they'll just straight up insta-cancel like their command center and stuff, right? So it is entirely possible that this turns into like the Great Debate situation. You guys have all seen that movie, right? The Great Debate. Starring, I think it's actually just Nathanias and his Twitch chat. That's pretty much it, actually. It's a great film. It's a great film. Got a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. Got the SCV going up into the main ramp. And you're going to see, oh, the pool is done. Gas is being mined, but not a lot of gas. There is a Roach Warren, though. Oh my god, what is this? I want you to think I'm cheesing you because I am. I want you to think that I'm fake cheesing you because it means I'm not cheesing you. Did TLO just... Oh my god, I feel like I'm watching Obi-Wan. I think TLO might have just Obi-Wan the out of uThermal here. Because uThermal is going to think to himself, oh yeah, he wanted me to think he was going pool first, but he actually took the hatchery over there. When in reality, he wanted him to think that he wanted him to think that he went pool first because he actually wants to try and kill him with a few early roaches. Which might be the greatest 700,000 IQ play that I have ever seen in my entire life. There's the Queen. He doesn't know about the Roach Warren. But he will soon enough. Yeah, now he knows. Now he knows. Okay, so you see that. Get a bunker at home. Yeah, immediately pull that SCV. Oh, yeah, he immediately canceled. He's like, all right, build tech lab, get a bunker, get Marines. So he's already thinking about the Ravager, Ling all in. Ling speed about to finish up. That will help there. He's got an extra drone on the gas. There you go. Move that one off. And here are the roaches. But there's a bunker. There are Marines, and there is a Cyclone on the way to try and help deal with this. He's going to bring the command center inside. So he's going to play this one nice and safe. He doesn't want to risk it. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Oh, he didn't cancel. Well, 100 minerals down the toilet. And that's got it's a nice feeling for TLO because it's not like he really invested all that much. Now he's like, all right, I'll work on the rocks. I'm going to open up this base. Did he really just scan that? I guess he wanted to know how many units there were. I don't know that that was worth a scan. I guess he's just scared about possibly losing the Cyclone, but... Interesting play. That's all I'm going to say. Didn't quite get that Roach either, unfortunately. He built 2 bunkers, though. Hot damn. He was really... He was watching that, what was it? That Bly special series. Fun match, by the way, from earlier today. uThermal. Pogorino. Extraordinaire. Lair, I'm going to be finishing up soon for TLO I mean, pretty late natural. I mean, I guess it's technically a third base. That Liberator's like, I wanted to siege on you, but there's nothing to siege. There's only one queen here and no spore, so there's definitely opportunity for this Liberator to get some damage done. It really just kind of boils down to how much will the queen impact this. Pinero. Don't try it. Pinero. 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 Oh, Liberator's actually getting some work done. Nice. 3 kills there. A little damage on the Ravager. Maybe not as much as he was hoping for, but I actually didn't think he would get too much. Overseer's going to morph up here now. We have Roach Speed and Carapace being added. Now, see, this is a game where that Roach Carapace ends up being really nice, though, because what TLO is going to have is Roaches and Ravagers with 2 armor, right? So the Roaches are going to have 2 armor. The Ravagers will have 2 armor. Did you know that on even upgrades, it takes a Marine like 31, 32? Honestly, health regen really fudges with these. And the random attack delay. About 30-ish, a little bit more than 30 hits to kill a Roach. And it goes closer to 40 if the Roach has that 1 armor upgrade difference. So it actually is a pretty big deal. It impacts a fight a lot. When you have 10 Roaches, that's like an extra almost, you know, like 70 or 80 Marine shots you need to kill them. Nathan, that doesn't really sound right. Well, that's the difference of having an armor upgrade advantage over your opponent. You ever see Zealots with +2 versus Marines that only have +1? Just saying. Just saying. That alone might be the reason for half of all balance complaints against Protoss in StarCraft. TLO's got his high ground vision Overseer now. He can see the entire army at this third base. He can see that these little dudes are moving out. So he's got pretty good vision here on everything that's going on over at the base of his opponent. And what I do think we're going to see, especially since he's gone straight into +2 Carapace as well, is he wants to really try and secure and double down on that upgrade advantage, because he's coming. And he's coming hot. He's got some real turbulent juice flowing over here. There are 3 tanks. And I think he got the Overseer, right? Oh, no, it moved over here. So he's going to start biling down the doors. Those depots, man, they take a long time to build. He's going to try and crack this open. It's cutting off a lot of the production capabilities. Losing that Overseer would be pretty bad, though. He's trying to drop some biles. The Overseer is important because he does want to make sure that he has the vision he needs to kill the tanks. And he's dropping some preemptive biles. That's a crap ton of Ravagers, BT dubs. And he's like, all right, I'll take some more of your depots. It's tough because like everybody's like, oh, just build big walls. They can't run onto your units. And then the Ravagers bile down your walls. And you're like, no. It's hard, man. It's hard. Now, 1-1 is done for uThermal. So that upgrade advantage I was talking about is gone, but only for a brief moment. In about half a minute, TLO is going to have that +2 Carapace, and we're going to be right back to where we were. Right back to square one. And he's trying to reposition to a place where there are not as many siege tanks. This is why he attacked these rocks so much earlier on in the game as well. Look at this creep highway-ish. I don't know if it's a highway. This kind of looks like a PennDOT job, if I'm being honest with you, as far as the creep spread goes, but it's not the worst thing ever. He's just going to try and yeet himself here. 1, 2, 3 on the tank. Boom. 1 tank down. 2 tanks down. The rest of the army is getting on top of him. I do think this is a very... he's got 6 seconds before that upgrade is done. I was going to say, that ground Carapace level 2. Remember that? Remember those extra 70 shots? He's got a lot of Roach Ravager. I'm just saying, it helps. It does matter. But now he's got the base lifting up. He does have an Overlord that can try to poop creep on this base too to help slow it down and deny it even further. He's got Roaches coming in from a flank on the north side. The rest of the Roaches and the Ravager on the south side coming in. That +2 Carapace makes the Roaches very hard to kill for the bio, but he does get on top of the Ravagers, which may be the most important part of all of this. Drops another bio. Is he going to get the other tank? No, 1 tank will survive. Now, there are still a decent few Roaches here. 13 SCVs were killed. At the end of the day, it's a 10-worker lead for TLO, but I think Dr. Dario on 3 bases with this. Oh, he really tried to get that tank, but unfortunately unable to. And I really think killing the tanks every time you make a push here is the most important part of playing this strategy, if I'm being honest. Now with the bio, with once 2-2 is done, because he can't get +3 Carapace without a hive, once 2-2 is done for uThermal, it's going to be like, yeah, no, it's time to blow doors down. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it's going to look like in a big fight. So he's playing, he's posturing for position. Unfortunately for TLO, this map is way better than Simulacrum for Terran versus Zerg. Remember how I talked about how hard it was to hold the like 7 angles you could get pushed? There's really only one way into the third base on this map. So TLO kind of has to go through a bit of a worse choke point if he wants to try and do that. And every second that goes by is worth solid gold for uThermal. He's got a 4th hatchery almost done. He scans. He's like, nothing to see here. But now with a ton of bio and medevacs and marauders and stim, he can really go to town here, especially since he's now evened up the upgrades. So he can stutter step. He can kite the roaches. He's not as worried about the ravagers. What do we got? 2 dropper lords, though. Are these decoys? Oh, he's sending 2 dropper lord decoys over to the natural to try and bait him. There's nothing in these, but he's trying to bait him over here. He wants him to run all those units over, but he's not going to take the bait. The army is still over here by the third base. He's dropping the biles like they're hot. He's going to take down none of the tanks. Yeah, nope. This army should die pretty fast now. He did miss all the biles. Almost got one of the tanks, but the other ones were all alive. And I'm not going to lie, looking pretty good for uThermal. GG, that's what I thought. TLO gave it a good shot, but unfortunately, uThermal's going to take the lead in this best of 5. Very well done. Man, hell of a match we've got going here so far, huh, ladies and gentlemen? Keeping those tanks alive. Such an ace play for uThermal. Such an ace play. Next map is World of Sleepers. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to World of Sleepers. World of Resident Sleepers. In the bottom left, we've got uThermal currently leading 2-1 for the grand finals of our ESL Pro Tour NA Americas Weekly number 9. It's the 9th weekly. 9 weeks. Kind of like a stretched out version of day 9 if he was, 17 foot tall instead of just 6 feet tall. He's like 6'5", isn't he? I wonder how many basketball comments he gets, even though he's a nerd. It's okay, I'm a nerd too. He'd probably still dunk on me though. TLO with the hatch first. So, 2 games in a row, some big Roach Ravager play by Dario. His biles were good. It's always funny to think about what makes compositions viable. Zergs are really good with their rapid fire. Like, the way that Zergs do their hotkeys is that they basically, like, press that rapid fire. They hold down, like, for, like, half a second to bile. And all their Ravagers just bile instantly, wherever their mouse is. And it was one of the reasons why, like, the Infested Terran spam was so strong for Zerg, is because they could literally cast that spell 100 times in a second or less. But with the biles, it's pretty big for that, right? Like, he had some really good pickoffs. He was able to get a lot of damage done. I'm a little bit surprised that uThermal, of all players, wouldn't try to use this as a cheese map. Honestly, I mean, if you're going to try to cheese a Zerg player in a best of 5, this is probably the #1 map to do so on. Maybe Zen, I guess. We didn't play on Zen yet, did we? It's been a long match. It's been a long day. It's been a long, fun day of casting. We've been live for 5 hours covering this tournament today. It's been good times. Having a happy old Sunday affair going down, if I may say so myself. A TLO. We have seen him play the relatively straight up standard styles. Hasn't done super well for him today. He had some really, or no, excuse me. That's very incorrect. Hasn't done super well in this specific best of 5. uThermal's been playing extremely, extremely well. But Dario actually clapped several people with just very, very good straight up play. We had the one game of the Lingbane Muta style. He was not able to find the opportunity to transition into the lurkers that he used to beat special. So that definitely really, really made things tough for him. But things that we're thinking about, things that we're considering, things that we're hoping for is being able to get that that good long macro game. Interested to see if he's going to stick to this Roach Ravagers. People in chat are asking, is he really that tall? Guys, I hate to break it to you. The only reason why people think that people like me and Maynard are 4 foot tall are because almost every StarCraft caster is over 6 feet. Roddy's like 6'2", 6'3". Todd is like 6'4". Day9's like 6'2". In Control was like 6'2". Nah, I think In Control might have been just 6 feet. I don't know. But they're all pretty tall. Even Pig is like, I think Pig's like 5'11" or 6 foot tall. And you got me and Maynard rocking the 168 centimeter game. Well, hey, if Wardy ends up continuing to do a lot more events in Zombie Grub, we're going to bring the average height down real low. I think we're all about 5'6", 5'7". uThermal trying to do his little poke-a-doke over here onto this third base. Of course, having 2 entrances this way to the natural can be risky, but TLO puts a lot of thought behind the things that he does, so I am not super concerned. We'll see. Roach Warren is done. He's getting some lings. Not a tremendous amount of lings. 3 roaches. This is how we talked about the Banshees, though, right? He's going to build another reactor with this. So he's going to start a barracks here and a barracks here. Stem here. Probably, what, 2 eBays behind here. Then these gases. He's got his third command center going. I like it. I can see the build unfolding before my eyes. There we go. Boom, boom. eBays next. You could take the gas before the eBays, but I think he'll go eBays first. Let's see. Hellions try to poke up. There are some roaches coming out now, so he's not going to be able to do a whole lot in that department. There's the eBays. Literally right where I said they'd be. Guys, is this live? Yeah, it is, baby. Easy. We've got... That's right. Actually, the whole reason I'm here casting this is so I can stroke my own ego with my Terran knowledge. There's the gas. And move back over to the tech lab. Start to get the siege tanks out. We've seen a lot of roaches from TLO in this best of 5, so I'm not surprised that siege tank focus is going to be important. I think this game, both of the last two games pretty much hinged on just keeping the tanks alive and spread out and target firing properly. Like that is the last 2 games in a nutshell. This time around, he did open with the roaches, but this is like defensive roaches. This isn't big cash money roaches or anything of that sort. He's thinking to himself, I want to be in a position where I can get some stuff done. He's like, I just want to make sure that these guys are going to protect me. But then I'm going to go into Mutiling Bane possibly. Well, he's getting a Ravager. But he's like, I'm going to go into the Ling Bane. It could be Ravager Ling Bane or Roach Ling Bane. That's certainly a possibility. We'll have to see. Yep, there's the Spire. I was thinking Mutiling Bane. Muslim is tall? Yeah, Muslim's like 6'1", 6'2". When it comes to StarCraft, basically everybody is either roughly 6'2" to 6'4" or 5'6". On the 5'6" side, you've got Nathanias, Zombie Grub, Maynard, Caleris. Even Apollo is like 5'11" or almost, I think he's like 6 feet tall. And he doesn't even do this stuff anymore. That's my favorite, because when you watch a StarCraft show and one of us is on, you're like, wow, those guys are short. But then you watch like that Warcraft tournament at DreamHack and Todd's on the desk and that's the Dreadnought, and you're like, is Dreadnought 4 feet tall? I'm like, no, man. The producers are just bad at framing a shot. The 2 engineering base finished 1-1. +2 immediately starts up. Let's go. Get that armor. There we go. So he's got a pretty good army here for uThermal. Now, how's the Bane count looking? Because we finished the Spire. We haven't... Okay, there we go. 9 mutas. This is risky. Mutalisks are good, but this is a big army, and there's only 7 Banelings. Immediately starts up as many as he can, but that's... I don't know, man. That's going to be pretty tough. He needs to get the Banes killed, though. Marines run off creep. If he can get rid of the Banelings, this is a lot of... Both tanks! Oh, okay, one tank does go down. He has 2 Banshees mixed in with this, though. It really is all on the Banes that he's morphing right now to try and save this. And if he can at least get rid of a decent number of the Marines, the mutas are going to be good too. He's going to bring everything in at the same time. Marines starting to run off of creep. Well, that could have been that could have... TLO could have lost the game right there. That was a phenomenal hold by the Wunderwunsch. Ugh. Hydralisk Den is coming in. So we've seen TLO do this, though. He likes to do this Mutiling Bane to try and force the game into a certain direction. And most of the time it works. He gets his opponent to build Thors. He gets them to research Drilling Claws. And then he quickly switches into the Hydralisks. And he's like, surprise, mother trucker. And he ends up going into this Lurker play. And the Terran's like, oh no, I stopped building tanks because I thought it was Mutiling Bane. And then, you know, things don't really end up going all that well for the Terran at that point, at least based on the games he's played today. uThermal trying to pick off a few creep tumors, trying to do a little bit. Tony Romo totally deserves the money. I'll tell you what, though, I don't need to be paid as much as Tony Romo. I would like a 3-year contract. Didn't he get like a 10-year contract? Oh my God. Imagine having stability in your life as a caster. 99% of events I work don't ask me to work them until like 2 weeks before. Seriously, I've lived 10 years of my life like that. Crazy. This guy's out here getting multi-year deals for... Forget the money. Length of contract. Hell yeah. Mutas come back inside, trying to grab another tank right as it finishes. And we do have the Marines spread out pretty well, but there's so many Banelings coming from every direction. Not all of the tanks being sieged definitely hurts. He was distracted trying to deal with those Mutalisks at home. And now the Spyo is actually so hurt and softened up. Okay, grabbing a few of the mutas that fly over there is definitely nice, but TLO is really not letting uThermal get up on him. Fantastic job holding. Fantastic job defending. You feel special at 5'9"? I'll tell you what, I don't think any of the StarCraft tall casters feel special when Blizzard's flying them on economy class for 11 hours at a time. When you're 6'4". Poor bastard Rotterdam. I don't envy him when we're on the plains. That's all I'm gonna say. He's moving out onto the creep. He's got a few of the siege tanks. The Banelings are not here. A few of them are gonna be done soon. 1 tank down. 2nd tank is gonna be destroyed as well. Good retreat, at least with the medevacs, but TLO is starting to show a little bit of that wah-pa-pa-pow that he used to get to the finals today. He did a really good job. He's been absolutely delivering. I mean, this is some of the best TLO gameplay I've seen in a long time. And I actually said that, I think, end of January or early February, where TLO was also continuing to crush, kill, and destroy in, I believe, the NA Weekly. He's had a couple of really, really good weeks here. Oh my God. He started to add the burrowed Banelings in. Well, that's just terrifying. That's just terrifying. He scans where the creep is. These things want to counterattack. Good setup for uThermal to stop that. He pulls that army away. 3-3 is coming in, but we've got pathogen glands. Here's what's interesting. The hive is on the way. Did we ever get a lurker den? No. That is fascinating to me. So TLO is really mixing it up. I mean, he's not just mixing it up. He's got like, I don't know, man. This is some shaken, not stirred over here. Let's see what he can do. We got the Zergling's trying to step forward. That's not going to work. If he killed that command center, that'd be nuts. We gotta let him. We gotta wait just a little bit more on that one. 2 medevacs coming in. We got 4 Vipers being made. +3 Carapace started up. Medevac drop on the right side. Another medevac drop going to hit the 3rd base. Well, he's got this medevac drop over at the top left expansion. Doing the absolute best he can with that double drop. Getting a lot of damage done. The +3 attack is close. And that will help a little bit. That hatchery picked off. Drones dropping in droves here as the Banelings run over, blowing up those Marines. So TLO is starting to stop the flow of blood. But unfortunately, I think uThermal definitely got a lot of damage in there. However, actually, you know what? I'm going to go a step further. See, this is risky, right? Because if you scan this, you'll probably see these, right? I don't know. I guess it really depends on the specific location of where the scan is. If you scan straight on it, then yeah. Medevac's going to move out. Burrowed Ling will see it, by the way. Oof. But yeah, see, of course he found the other ones from that turret. Well, whatever. Knowing that there are burrowed banelings is also very, very valuable information. So we'll see. We'll see how long Dario can keep it up. 4th base is morphing into a planetary. This is extremely important for the Terran, but he's bought himself a pretty huge amount of time before this phase of the game occurred. So I think TLO is getting ready to strike. He's definitely got the army that he needs to make a big play. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the creep spread that he needs, but that hasn't been what stopped him so far today. Ooh, great pick off on that medevac. I heard the screams of 8 men there, and it was not good. Those Lings killing a few of the Marines. He's got a drop over here on the right side. Again, these drops are the only thing buying him time. Good abduct. Gets him medevac there. Just the 1 Bane and 1 Hydra. Not enough. Just got to keep going. Just keep pushing, man. So goes for a scan for Banelings there. The Banelings are mostly up on this side. I don't think there's any burrowed Banes here, right? Nah, I don't see them. I'm looking. I'm looking for you guys. And girls. Happy International Women's Day. Yeah, yeet. Siege tanks continuing to approach. Good scans. Sees, hey, it's just creep here. No burrowed Banes on this side of the fence. I definitely think keeping burrowed Banes off creep is actually the best way to use them, because if a good Terran player scans creep, then they should always see them. He's spread himself out a little bit. Got the tanks are staggered very far back. Moving forward with a minimal amount of bio. I wouldn't even hate just abducting the medevacs here one at a time. Or if the medevacs kill themselves, I guess that doesn't really matter. Never mind then. We do have some Broodlords coming out. Almost forgot these units existed in the game. And that's actually going to force the siege tanks to shoot at the bio. Now everything just starts to fall apart. Blinding clouds galore. You can't even stutter step if you got the blinding cloud around you. Medevacs are dying non-stop left and right. TLO looks poised to tie this series up 2-2. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we might be going to the rubber match here. I'm not entirely sure how uThermal's going to stop him. He's building Vikings. Well, as soon as the Terran starts building Vikings, that's when you know they're dead. If they're building Vikings versus Broodlords, that's usually a terrible sign. I am very worried for uThermal. I think TLO should be able to punch this one in pretty soon. Especially with the Vipers to just abduct those Vikings into them. Vikings just rarely ever get the job. Oh, look at that. The disrespect. He's got a burrowed Ling and an Overlord pooping creep. Yep. You did, boy. Look at that. He's even got 1 burrowed Bane mixed in there, too. He's like, go ahead, try it. Try to just run underneath my Broodlords, bruh. Bruh. Oh, yeah, 2 Vikings. GG. TLO ties it up. We're going to game 5. Game 5 will be coming up in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy days here. Banana net. Banana net. Banana net. I've got a puppy on my lap. He says hello. We requested a minute break. We do not have the Lu Cam. I'm waiting for something to come in from Corsair. They're supposed to send me another capture card so that I have a doggo cam. I am just waiting on that. Game is starting. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final game here for week 9 of the ESL Pro Tour NA. We have in the bottom right the blue Terran player. He is uThermal. And in the top left, we have the red Zerg player. He is Liquid TLO. Man, it's all about that pacing of when you do the zoom and then the effect and say it. And yeah, no, definitely did better on TLO's intro here. Maybe that will be the blessing that he needs to pick up this dub. We'll see. We will see if he will be able to obtain a victory royale here as we are on Triton. A map that has a very massively wide open third with multiple places to attack on either side, honestly, to a pretty good degree. So you definitely need to be careful. I think this could be a really good Roach or Ravager map if Dario Wunsch wants to go into it again. Just want to say a big thank you as we are in the final game of the day. Massive thank you to everybody that's tuned in, everybody that's been hanging out, and especially if you're watching this on the YouTube or even here live on Twitch, just for coming by and saying hello. I really appreciate all the support that y'all bring to me, and we're going to be sticking to a lot of these casts every Sunday, covering the NA Cups. I do have a dog now. I got a beautiful little golden retriever puppy, and I have a wonderful lady in my life. So, unfortunately, I cannot do the graveyard shift of casting for the Europe and Korea Cups. Maybe one day as like a stretch goal we could do it. I don't know, but either way, I'll be playing StarCraft and a few other games throughout the month of March. Just going to do the soft plug for my own stream. If you like stuff like Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Resident Evil 3, or Persona 5 Royal, those are all titles coming out in the next few weeks that I'm going to be broadcasting a lot of here on my channel. And possibly making some YouTube content of, but that is a little bit less likely. So just, if you like what you see, if you like hanging out here, I'd encourage you to give some of the other stuff that I do a chance. I really appreciate it. I'm also a Grandmaster Terran player on the North American ladder for StarCraft. Top 200. I just beat Golden this week. So, also, hopefully worth checking out. And with that being said, get back to the game. Cheeky supply depot block here on this base by uThermal. See, it's cheaper than the eBay, but it takes 21 seconds to build instead of 29 for the bunker. And that is why I like this block, because you have more hit points on a depot that's built for 2 seconds than a bunker that's built for 2 seconds. So we have the Reaper being annoying, putting on that harass, trying to block, trying to do everything he can to delay this. Creep Tumor, first one coming out now for TLO. We've seen him bust out a lot of roaches in this series, but he was able to take that last victory with a really good macro Lingbane Muta into the roach. But like kind of, not even roach, no. With the roaches into the Lingbane Muta, into Hydra Lingbane, and then Broodlords instead of Lurkers that time. And it was really well. It was really well done, because I think with the semifinals being played side by side, or excuse me, one after another is what I mean to say, not at the same time. uThermal could have seen how TLO played against Special, and he wrecked him with he really wrecked him with the Lurkers. So the fact that he hasn't even shown that today, I think says a lot, or shown that in this final series, I guess I should say. So the fact that he's been able to put that together has just been really, really well done. We do have the lair on the way. and TLO. I think this is one of the first times we don't even have a quick Baneling Nest at all from him, huh? So this Liberator's going to go move out. I wonder what that's going to be. There's the Baneling Nest. Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, I'm not 100%, not 100% sure what the next move is here. Because he could have started a Roach Warren right now, too, and done a Nidus. Like, he hasn't actually tried to do anything like that yet, right? So, I think that's a pretty fair... I will say that's the one thing I think that was missing from this best of 5. I love macro games, but I would have liked to have a high stakes cheese. Maybe. I won't say or two. I won't say or two. Just one. Just the one. It's just the one cheese, actually. Hellions pushing over towards that third base while the Liberator sieges the Nat. Pinero. Okay, he's going to get one shot off here. You just got to fly, baby. Fly away from the ground tempests. Go. Hi-ho, Silva. Away. The Liberator is going to make its way out of there. Third command center. Almost complete. Double eBay. Yeah, uThermal's bio has been going pretty well for him. I do find it interesting that he doesn't want to play any mech at all versus TLO. Then again, there's actually some pretty strong mech Terrans that play on the North American ladder. You got guys like Froby, Ruff, Cuddle Bear, and Future's actually got some pretty good mech. But Terran players in general have kind of already bounced back towards bio. I think the mass Viper style versus mech is has turned a lot of players off of it, as well as players that are good with the Nidus Swarm hosts are truly terrifying to go up against as well. Those are really scary. Those are really scary. So we got the Spire finishing up. So this time we cut out the middleman. There are no roaches to be made here. So we skipped that little roach phase. We're just going straight to Lingbane Muta. And by skipping that roach phase, it could give a better window to attack for TLO, because his Muta control has been really good today. The Muta control has been fantastic today from TLO. So I think it's very possible that if he can get out those Mutas a little bit earlier by skipping that roach phase, that there's a big opportunity for him to be able to catch uThermal off guard just by squeezing that out a little bit earlier. We'll see, though. He is getting +1 attack, but he hasn't actually built any Mutas yet. We'll see how long he waits. This Liberator makes its valiant return. 4 drones obliterated. These Marines going to drop out and grab this Overlord. As this open up, he's rallying his Marines to the depot. This reminds me of how Innovation used to do it back when Life... I think one of the biggest things that made Life such a good Zerg player was that he was always good with those run-bys and the Ling usage. And it was actually Innovation that was one of the first players that was like, I'm going to rally to a depot in front of my stuff that blocks the Zerglings from running past. That way, if the depot dies from a bust or something, my rallies all reset and my units don't die running out if they get out of my production. And then also at the same time, they block. They block just running straight past. So let's see what uThermal can do. He's got a massive army ready. You got to be careful about the Mutas, though, right? Because TLO more than once has come in with the backstab onto the siege tanks. Those beautiful flanks. He's got some of the Marines pre-split. Hellbat's trying to cover the tank, but there the Mutas are. And the Banelings do get some pretty good connections. There's not a tremendous amount of Mutalisks, but it doesn't seem to matter. The Marines are all dead. And so are these siege tanks. Medevac's going to try to boost away while the reinforcements arrive. And I think he's going to be able to stand strong at the tower. But I just do not believe that he's going to be able to hold on to that. I don't think he's going to be able to do too much more over here if he tries to just push. It's very hard. If you want to make sure you can get those saturated, spread out tank shots, you're definitely going to need more than just 1 or 2. I think 3 tanks is like that sweet spot number, but they're also just so vulnerable. Not only do they kill your own units, Weirdo Mines will do that too, but they're just so vulnerable to the Mutas. I really like Drilling Claw Mines. But the crazy thing about the Drilling Claw Mines, I guess, is that TLO's kind of trying to bait him into it, right? TLO wants you to go away from siege tanks to deal with the Lingbane Muta. He wants you to do that because he's already getting his Hydralisk Den. In fact, I think he's got it now. Yeah, TLO he goes for this Lingbane Muta opener into Hydras, and I actually haven't seen a tremendous number of players do this. I really like it though, because you're trying to control the pace of the game. You're forcing the Terran to react to the Mutalisk threat. You're going to force them to build missile turrets in every base, one by the production, and one at the edge of the base, and all of that to protect your add-ons. So there, he's going to force you to sink a bunch of resources into anti-air infrastructure. Meanwhile, his entire plan hinges around grabbing you with that Hydra transition. And obviously, Widow Mines aren't going to be useful against that. We saw what happened when Special tried to do that. Also, I appreciate the compliment, but yeah, these guys are way better than just regular, like, Grandmaster level. It's hard to put into words, actually. Oop, missile turrets get a lot of hits off on these mutas. Meanwhile, a drop lands on the north side. Oh, that's a beautiful save. There's really not enough mutas to deal with that. So he's going to have to bring all the Ling Bane to stop this medevac from just unloading somewhere. But that actually gives time for uThermal to move forward with his tanks. I love this. Building a missile turret. Build a missile turret. Build another missile turret. Down, down. Do your thing. Do your thing. These Marines push forward. Almost grabs that queen. Gets a spore crawler. We do have some Lings ready for the flank. Now, can uThermal hold on? He's got a huge amount of Lingbane coming in from the east side. The Hydras are pushing in from the west. The tanks really not able to get those big, juicy splash hits off, unfortunately. That's okay. If you want to clump up like that. Problem is, there's still a lot of Banelings. uThermal's got a split. Banes are coming up off of him. He's cleared out most of them, though. Oh my god, it's just Hydralisks. It's just 51 Marines versus 15 Hydras. This could be it. uThermal trying to finally get that last big push to win this game after multiple push after push with those siege tanks, dealing with those roach attacks. He's done it. uThermal grabs himself the ultimate victory here and is the champion of the ESL Pro Tour. America's Weekly number 9. Noise.